Who would choose to be a video game side quest? While the main quest hogs the spotlight with world-saving heroics, the side quest has to slum it in the background, trying to catch your attention with monster-slaying drudgery and arbitrary collectathons.
What are you doing out here, Petruccio? You should be in bed.
I want those feathers.
What for?
It's a secret.
Sounds vague. I'll do it. But not all side quests are happy toiling in obscurity. Some lure you in with a seemingly innocuous task, only to turn on you the second they make it into your quest log. Simple delivery chores spiral into continental treks to rival Lord of the Rings, and kind favours can mutate into a lifetime of servitude, just like being Frodo's friend in Lord of the Rings. So let's celebrate the seemingly minor missions that really escalated as we embark on 7 wild side quests that started so simple. Beware of spoilers for the following.
You went right out to give it to your fiancée. Don't you even remember where you left her? And after you told me that sweet story of how you met in Witchmist Grove, I can see why she left you.
One surefire way of derailing any side quest is adding alcohol. Drunken mistakes feature in so many RPGs, I wonder if those letters actually stand for regrettable pint glugging. Think of poor Geralt in The Witcher 2, who parties with the Blue Stripes, only to wake up branded for life.
What happened next?
You said you wanted to be one of the Blue Stripes and had to get yourself a tattoo.
What tattoo?
One like ours. And you got it.
Where are my things?
His mum and/or Vesemir will be furious. Or there's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where Ivor hits the ale a little too hard in Jotunheim.
Tastes like a boar shat in my mouth. Where am I?
So many questions. How did that cart get onto the roof? Who put a boat in the ale? And, most importantly, why won't Alka-Seltzer be invented for another 1,000 years? Ouch. But the mother of all boozy blunders occurs in Skyrim side quest, A Night to Remember.
You look like someone who can hold their liquor. How about a friendly contest to win a staff?
Wandering into a watering hole at level 14 or above introduces Sam Gwiven, a man with a staff, and the guts to bet it all on a drinking contest. If I'd been lining my stomach with an entire loaf of bread, I'd be confident too. Sounds simple, plus you're as much Flagonborn as Dragonborn and drink Sam under the table. Problem is, things get hazy after that.
Wake up. That's right. It's time to wake up, you drunken blasphemer.
Again, so many questions. Where am I? What have I done? Has Alka-Seltzer been invented in the lore of the Elder Scrolls? Yes, you had quite the night, and it's all gone a bit Dude, Where's My Jarl as you attempt to piece your drunken memories back together. Retracing your steps paints a picture of a legendary night out. You wrecked the Temple of Dibella, terrorized some farmers, and apparently did a bit of light kidnapping.
Sorry's not good enough. Not while my Gleda's still out there alone and afraid. You kidnapped her and sold her to that giant.
Oh, and you might have proposed.
Darling, I've been waiting for you to return, to consummate our love.
And booked a wedding in a den of hostile conjurers. And your pal Sam? Yeah, he's a Daedric prince called Sanguine. It sounds wild, but this was basically every night of Freshers Week for me.
I haven't been so entertained in at least 100 years.
So what did we learn from all this? Drink responsibly, and never go on a pub crawl with a Daedric prince of debauchery, or the Warwick University Rugby Society.
Yep, take these. Oh, well, I'm not much of a scientist. Well, you are an American. Science is far beyond you, but you make a fine buffoon. Go.
If you're looking for stories that get out of control, then Red Dead Redemption 2 might just be Escalation the game. The main story is basically 100 scenes of Dutch saying, "It's gonna be fine, Arthur," and then things definitely not being fine.
Think we got a problem out here!
Come out! It's over!
Abigail!
Arthur Morgan can't even relax without running into trouble. Take the Sundanese pond. Maybe you want to feed the ducks, or show off your new boots. To the ducks. Or ask the ducks if you can join their gang. But instead you find wild inventor Marco Dragic and kick off the bright bouncing boy questline.
You Americans are nothing but shysters and traitors and slippery-tongued bull suckers.
I'm inclined to agree.
Here, help me please. Back to work with a bloody smile.
Dragic's first request is easy enough, to demonstrate his radio-controlled boat, a kind of turn-of-the-century prototype for the vehicular chaos of Grand Theft Autos to come. A Alarm bells should ring that he's filled the pond with working sea mines, but as favours go, it's relatively sedate.
I'm gone for you.
This would explain the lack of ducks today. However, things soon go from yee-haw to yee-huh as you visit Dragic's laboratory.
Can't get it right.
I don't understand.
Of course you don't. Help me adjust these things and I will show you what I mean.
And so it is that a cowboy with no specific training finds himself carrying experimental technology during a lightning storm. A plan even Dutch Terrible Plans van der Linde would raise an eyebrow at. I guess it's for a good cause though, as that electricity brings Dragic's robotic son to life.
He lives! My son lives!
It's just like Frankenstein, that story that famously ends well for everyone. So how about checking back in on the happy family to see how they're doing?
Professor?
Oh god. If anyone asks, I never left the duck pond.
In the streets of Kamurocho, home to the Yakuza series and its spin-off Judgment, you can't walk 5 meters without bumping into a side quest. This is a town where entering the wrong restaurant can see you enlisted as a bodyguard for Michael Jackson, a legally distinct Miracle Johnson, or a casual stroll down the streets can lead to you helping a dominatrix become more assertive at work. At least I can tick that off my Kamurocho bucket list. Given that Takayuki Yagami, the private investigator star of Judgment, spent so much time immersed in the criminal underworld, it makes sense he'd leap at the wholesome-sounding side quest, Secrets of Cats. All he has to do is hunt a missing Mog. Okay, tracking down the local cat cafe is hardly the wildest side mission. The only thing out of control here is how freaking cute these cats are. Oh, look at this little cat face, it's so cute with his little ears. Anyway, this does lead us to our precious puss. Do sliding doors even work for cats? Huh, great minds and all that. Hunting the cat inside the Millennium Tower proves as difficult as finding a cat in a mid-sized Japanese shopping centre, which I now propose as a more adorable replacement for Needle in a Haystack. But when Yagami spots his target atop a lift, things escalate. Get it? Like an escalator. Ooh. Turns out you're not the only one chasing the feline. Worse, the other guys have laser drones. This is the point at which most rational people would call it a day, but then most rational people aren't friends with a man who sells tiny drone-sized machine guns. One trip to him, and Yagami is ready for round 2. Somewhere between the aerial battle and a second round of beatings with would-be catnappers, we begin to ponder if we've misjudged this new line of work. Yagami might be better off immersed in the violent world of crime after all. You probably get used to it after a while, like being in a hot bath.
You could make the case that Link's entire life is a side quest gone out of control. Wind Waker kicks off with a trip to Grandma's house and snowballs into stabbing the ultimate evil in the head. Twilight Princess begins with delivering a letter and ends with stabbing the ultimate evil in the chest. Skyward Sword starts with barrel delivery, but a few hours later you're, stabbing the ultimate evil. What I'm saying is, if you're the ultimate evil and someone asks Link to do the dishes, get the hell out of there. Nowhere is Link's gift for escalation more keenly felt than when accepting a chicken egg in Ocarina of Time. In Kakariko Village, you find a kindly biotechnician who has bred a pocket cuckoo and intends to market it as a biological alarm clock. She also identifies Link as a friend to chickens, which proves she is not familiar with his work at all. Her mistake is Link's gain, one shiny pocket egg and instructions to cheer up a cuckoo by waking a lazy sleeper. And here's where the side quest goes out of control. Deep breath. The hatched cuckoo wakes Talon from his slumber and now can be traded for Kojiro, who wakes the creepy golem tribute act in the Lost Woods for the odd mushroom. Deliver this to Kakariko's potion shop to make an odd potion. Take that to the Lost Woods to swap it for the poacher's saw. Now to Gerudo Valley where the saw gets the Goron sword. But it's broken. Take back that da-na-na-na. Next, hotfoot it up Death Mountain where the Bigoron would fix it if he had his eye drops. Better deliver his prescription. It's at this point I pause for a sip of water and you enjoy this chill image of Epona for a second. Right, and we're back with the prescription. Link thaws King Zora and gets a key eye-drop ingredient, the eyeball frog. Don't dwell on the horror of squeezing a frog into your eye as you head to Lake Hylia to craft the world's finest eye drops. With his eyes full of rejuvenating Kermit juice, the Bigoron sets to work on the sword and gives you a claim check ticket, turning this epic journey into a glorified trip to an Argos superstore. One final da-na-na-na and you've got the Bigoron's sword, stronger than the Master Sword and totally unbreakable. One more time, just for the cheap seats. Love it.
My, a whole world inside one little glass nut. The perfect place to hide.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is so packed with side missions you can't even run a circuit of a farmyard without cows and chickens filling your quest log. Talk about egging you on.
I saw.
Two animals that don't have anything friendly to say are the wolves on the Nameless Isle, which is technically a name, but I'm not here to argue with cartographers. That's better saved for our upcoming video, 7 times stupid map idiots made stupid maps. Roughing up wolves is side quest 101, but it turns out, oh no, it's more complicated than that because these furry rascals have stolen a gem from the ghostly Knight of Zantetsa.
They took the realm. They took it all. But they don't know what it is. They don't know what they have. Those black-ringed dogs. They took the universe, but they don't know what it is.
I'm sure that it is dangerous, but it's also very shiny, and that's what matters to these dogs. It's what matters to this adventurer too, and grabbing the red ruby is where the quest gets spicy.
The face dissolves, and the stars begin to swirl. And so too does your head, as you are taken to...
It's not a jewel, but an entire universe, an impish pocket realm where time moves slowly, which means you really get to savour the pressure pad puzzles while opening doors. If slow-motion box pushing hadn't convinced you you're dealing with a cruel and unusual architect, the next chamber features poison gas and an emergency flush valve. What does it flush? Not the gas, but all the life from your body as it floods the room with death fog. Death fog does what it says on the tin. Oh wait, you're dead before you can read the tin. Just in case you still hadn't grasped just what a bad time the impish pocket realm is, reaching the centre reveals a security system that is so smart I had to Google what it was actually threatening to do.
Hostile threat detected. Executing operator extirpation in 3...
Extirpation is... the removal of organs or tissue, apparently, which is my cue to say, screw the impish pocket realm and keep your damn ruby. I'm gonna go and hang with the chickens instead.
I saw it, Eivor. I saw him nearby.
Wallace?
The white elk. The white elk that brought me to Wallace years ago. It was there. I saw it there.
To the Vikings, England basically was a side quest, a big lump of rock with a load of collectibles to grab and bring home to the main event. So it makes sense that the lead pillager in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ivor, spends much of that game following similar stories. Some as simple as pushing a man in a river, others as complicated as getting drunk and speaking to a pig. Vikings, the 9th century version of the Warwick University Rugby Society. But none of them prepare Ivor for the trip experience during Have You Seen This Man? Sounds simple enough. Look for Petra's missing brother outside Ravensthorpe.
I'd like to search the woods for him, but alone I fear I would have little luck.
It's around the time you encounter the pig with demonic red eyes that you wonder if the quest is entirely on the level. I'd also take the possessed piggy as an invite to leave the room full of funky yellow gas and the wafty visual distortion. But that's me. Perhaps a breath of fresh forest air will clear Ivor's hell no.
I am sorry to trouble you, Lord.
Eivor, nice to see you here.
If there's one thing worse than a giant dream elk, it's a giant dream elk that doesn't have your back when frost giants try to murder you. Not cool, giant dream elk. Not cool. Also not cool, Petra suddenly turning into Nightcrawler from X-Men, teleporting ahead, and then doing a terrible job of teaching you those same powers.
How can I do that, Petra?
Yes, just try it. Move, run in a straight line.
No! Too far!
I find that during moments like this, it's best to sit down and take a second to think of a logical solution.
We should ask the rabbits. They will know something.
Of course. The rabbits.
You could try that too, yeah. By the time you find missing brother Wallace, you've murdered several pet shops worth of animals and spent an unhealthy amount of time talking to an elk, which for the record is any amount of time spent talking to an elk. Stay out of subterranean mushroom chambers, kids.
Maybe she went to the neighboring village, forgot to tell you.
No, my sister were never gone this long before.
Tried looking for her?
Asked round the village, none saw her go. She must have left when they were still sleeping. Told her time and again not to wander off on her own. She never listened.
Fans of straightforward quests should explore The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt at their peril. One bit of small talk at an inn, and bam! You've committed the next 20 years of Geralt's pocket money to buying Gwent cards.
A moment, Witcher. You strike me as a man of the world. Are you familiar with Gwent?
The quest Wild at Heart doesn't sound tricky when you accept it. A missing wife, a sad husband, a sister-in-law who couldn't possibly have an ulterior motive. Geralt will have this wrapped up in the time it takes a Cadwenny stout to settle.
Hear about your notice. I'm a witcher.
After quizzing local bumpkins and a child with the face of a 40-year-old man mark him as an abomination due a good witchering later, Geralt visits the woods and applies the tracking skills known only to the ancient witcher schools. Or as I call it, head towards that big pack of wolves. Things get complicated when the sister-in-law arrives with a proposal.
I'll pay you twice Nealon's pledge. Just tell the man his Hannah's dead.
Sorry lady, this list feature isn't called 7 out-of-control quests that we opted out of for small bribes.
Sorry, not in the habit of leaving jobs undone.
Further investigation reveals the bloody paste formerly known as Hannah, some claw marks, wolf hair, a man's torn shirt, and a letter full of howling regret. Wait a second. Add it all up and I think, yes, it's a wolf that's learned how to write letters. Yeah, all that. Werewolf was my second guess. But a few pokes at the old silver sword, and there's another twist.
It's Nealon!
Lycanthropy can afflict anyone, but it is a curse, so sorry, but I have to.
You don't understand! I love him!
It's the stuff of classic soap opera. The sister-in-law overcome with jealousy, the wife fed to the husband who's actually a wolf. Didn't this happen on Dallas once? Whether you put Nealon out of his misery or allow him to munch on his wicked tormentor, it really feels like there's no right answer here.
No! Mercy!
See, this is why I enjoy card collecting. Far fewer revenge killings.
So those were 7 weird, out-of-control side quests that started so simple. They just escalated. Not unlike you clicking on this list feature and then disappearing down a YouTube rabbit hole until 3 AM. Yeah, we see you. And if you can think of other quests that spiraled into madness from humble beginnings, then drop them in the comments. And if you like this, then why not check out our Blades in the Dark series? We've got some new D&D coming up very soon on Outside Xbox, so keep an eye out for that. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye!